It is Thursday, September 21st, and the time is 1:04 p.m. Just a quick review of what's happening this week. I had some orders from the previous week and carried them through the weekend, still holding some and exited, so I'm going to go through all the instruments that I have in here. Starting off with the VIX, this week we have seen the VIX reach into R1 and continue higher. It seems to be coming back some now, but if you have taken this short trade in here, short the VIX, you would have taken some heat and possibly get out break even by tomorrow, or maybe a slight gain. I didn't do anything with the VIX. I don't trade the VIX. The gold, I did not trade anything with the gold last week or this week. We didn't really reach anything. The levels I have in here are for this week. Last week they were different, so I put lines on top of those levels to show what's going on. The 10-year we had moved down to S1, moved a bit higher from there. Not enough to really to make a trade out of it. From 17 to 23, about 6-7 ticks, I guess. Then it went down after the news yesterday, and it seems to be heading back toward S1 too. If you have taken a long, you would still have a chance to go out break even here soon, maybe today or tomorrow. Same thing with the 10-year, which is the inverse of the ZN. We would have been short in here, holding for a slight loss or a break even. Oil has been moving. It moved a lot last week. It continued higher. It opened up Sunday and it continued to move higher. No, this is not correct. I'm not really sure what happened here. This is supposed to be the open, and we didn't move anywhere close to R1, so no trades for oil this week so far. The ES, we had started the week, stayed around the open most of the week until the news hit yesterday, then it started to go down. This was overnight, and it came back, retested, and dropped again some more. By the time I got up in the morning, it was here around 6 in the morning. I did take a long, and I am thinking about adding to it if we had reached S2. I know those moves seems to be extreme, and everybody seems to think that we will continue to go down, and we're going to go down to 40, 150 in 2-3 days, and usually those things don't work out like that. So there's a lot of buyers waiting here with limit orders, institutional buyers. I was wanting to buy in here. I would have added it. If not, I'll hold it till tomorrow. Maybe I'll get out with a gain in here somewhere, or break even if it came toward 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow and the position has not moved much. The NQ had moved down the same way, reached S1, came back, retested slightly overnight and dropped again, and S2 seems to be holding so far. The move on the NQ was much higher than the ES, so I grabbed it toward S2, and I'm still holding at a very small gain. The M2K, same thing, holding a slight loss. MYM is at S1 and holding. And if you've been long in here, then target would be somewhere in here, or possibly back to the open. 6A moved up to R1 and it dropped nicely from there, and that was overnight. No, that was not overnight. That was Wednesday Wednesday night, and some news hit, I guess, and that would have been a great trade in here back to the mid. That would have been good for 65.22 to 64.50, about 80 pips. 80 ticks, sorry, in a few hours. And not much on the 6E. 6E, if you remember last week, there was an opportunity to go long in here, and I did not take it. It was too late in the week, being a Friday, but that would have done good back into the highs here, a little bit back into those highs. $6B moved down to S1, and it continued. It didn't really hold much. I took it in here, added to it, and I was out with a small gain. Well, no, actually a decent gain, because this one in here, I think I took it in here somewhere, has gained, and this one was up, so it was a decent trade. Swiss franc, the same way. I didn't take this one, I just wanted to point it out. So it's somewhat illiquid, especially this futures instrument is a bit illiquid, so I don't trade that, but there would have been a long added to it in here somewhere, either this bar or this bar, and it moved up into today and tomorrow. Canadian, I was short, and it took some heat. Tried once and tried again for a nice gain of 54 to about 50 ticks. Corn didn't do much of anything this week. Wheat is right at S1 now, being Thursday afternoon. I don't think I will be taking anything in here, but if maybe it was Wednesday or Tuesday, this would have been a nice long in here. Right now, you take it at market and you wait for it to come back to those levels in here for a small gain. So it's the same thing. You would have been long here, and it's taking heat if you've taken it. Natural gas is, this would have been a short. I don't trade natural gas. They would have taken some heat, but at the same time would have given you at least 2-1 back into the mid, or you would have been out. If I'd taken this, I most probably would have been out in here somewhere, being all this point of control, all this price action in here. I did take all of the Forex trades that I'm showing, and I'll go through them. I'm still holding a few of them, and I'm still, I'm watching the, anyway, I'll go over that in a minute. AUD, CAD, nothing close to a long in here, and I didn't take it. I didn't even put the order in. I don't think it would have been filled anyway. I would have been here somewhere. That's where the line is. This is where the price is really, the support and resistance is, and this is my line in here to put it a little bit ahead of the support and resistance. AEDCHF, I had this. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I've been short from here, and I added to it, and I think I was short here, back here somewhere as well. I can't remember where. And so the price that hit R1, and it came down back to the target area, which is the midpoint, the weekly open. And I put S here, and that S stands for stupid, because what happened is I had taken a short. It was a short, and I added to it, and added to it again. And over here, I would have been out for a minimal loss, very small loss. But somehow I decided that I wanted to go ahead and take my profit, I think here somewhere, because that would make me a small gain, or get me break even or something like that. And that's the stupidest thing anybody can do, including myself, because the market doesn't really care where you're at, and if you're up on the trade or down, it has those levels that it needs to respect. Because as you can see, as soon as that price hit the midpoint, the weekly open, a lot of buyers stepped in, and now I'm just sitting onto 1, 2, 3 short positions at a nice loss. That would have made my good week even better, because I did have a good week, but this is just a stupid trade. We may get back in here by today and tomorrow, and we most probably will, because this move is just not normal. And I'll definitely get out in here, but I just wanted to point that out, that you have to be careful. And I was even thinking of taking the profit in here back to S1, and that's just the dumbest thing anybody can think of. The markets don't work like that. If you are in from R1 or R2, then your profit target is going to be the open or the midpoint, or it's going to be, if you are in from R2, you need to go take profit at R1. Not when you think you can made enough money. I did better with the Australian dollar. I was short from last week in here, if you remember, and we took it. It continued. I kept it. Then I moved up. I added to it at R1, and I was out of both positions with a nice gain at 64.18 in here. It was good for, or at least this trade here was good for 76 pips, and I think this was 30 pips, about 100 pips total. Nothing was traded on the AUD/JPY. This trade I'm still holding short once. Then from last week I was R2 short again, and this week I added a third short in here. That in here I was not quite enough to break even, and not really quite the target, but it found some buyers in here at the same time as the all Australian Canadian instruments. So it's gone now. It's a decent loss. It's at I'm holding a decent loss on all 3 positions with the CAD Swiss, and we'll see. Hopefully tonight by tomorrow we'll get back into this area, and I'll take a much smaller loss than what I have now. The same thing with the CAD-yen. I was short, and I decided to put my target back here, break even, then add to it, and it doesn't make any sense. It's for stupid again, because this is where the price is going to hold, and that's what I should be at, because we could be hitting the midpoint in here, the weekly open, and back up to R1 and R2, and you'll never see this level again. So that was just another bad trade that I had this week. Nothing. I don't have anything on the Swiss yen. Or do I? Let me check. No, I don't have anything in here. I did not take a long in here, but if you have taken a long, would have been okay. The same thing with the Euro Aussie. I didn't take this long. It would have been decent. It would have taken a little bit of heat, and it would have been really good move from there back again to the consolidation area in here. Did not take this one either. This would have been a decent long. Nothing on the Euro yen. I did take this trade in here. I don't remember what this is for, but I was long from last week and didn't do much of anything. It closed the week small loss or break even, and this week came in and it continued selling, and I added to it in here a bit. That's when I was up early that day, and I was able to pick up another long. It took a lot of heat. Then add the third time into it, but there would have been a nice add-on in here, and it went up. And this time I did the right thing. I put my limit in advance once I saw this price action in here, and I think overnight I was out of the 2 positions, not 3. So I was out right here, and that's a great exit. If I had decided that now I'm going to go ahead and take, make sure this is also at a profit, and decided to take my gains in here because I want this to be at a gain, then this would have been a stupid trade as well, because as you see, we lost that level quickly. This one was painful. I didn't make any mistakes on this one. I took a short and I put my target right over here where the lows are and close to the midpoint, and I even took it a little further, but we just couldn't get it. We didn't reach low enough, and by the time I was up and looking at it, it was too late. This would have been a decent add-on. If I had done that, I would have been right here. I would have been in better shape now. Maybe break even actually in here somewhere. Pound twist, nothing set up there. This, I don't remember what this was. I think this was support that held from last week. Didn't get high enough to get a sell for this week, so no trade. This I did not take. Oh. Okay, I'll remove it later. This this would have been a long. Okay, I got it. Long in here, taking some heat. It'll be up a little bit. Didn't get a chance to add to it, but I didn't trade this instrument, the pound. I traded that on the futures only. Then New Zealand yen, I did take this short in here, and that was a great short because it has moved down. I think this is the target, or this in here, I don't remember, but it's all finished, and it looks like it's going to try again to retest the midpoint, but this was a short from here down to here. That's 86 pips, not bad. Nothing for the New Zealand CAD. Aussie, I did take 2 trades on the Aussie. I was the first short in here, then added to it. Oh yeah, actually not only 1 trade, but what happened is I took this one, and somehow I put a very tight stop loss. I have my stop loss and target automatically programmed in with it automatically, and I don't know what mistake I did, either through a cell phone or whatever. I was out with minus like 10 pips or something like that. Then I noticed I was out, so I took it again in here, and that was a good trade. I'm glad I re-entered after the mistake, and that was good for 52 pips. This one I didn't take, and it looks to be a good setup. Would have been a short in here, added to it. Both would have been at a gain right now, but I didn't take it. I did take the Canadian. I was long in here, took a lot of heat, moved up, and came back again, and in here I put my target in advance, and I'm filled and out and finished with it. And that was good for 70 pips. Nothing on the yen, so on that's pretty much it. So again, we are looking at a market that's going down. One thing I didn't want to mention, again, I have a friend or two that follows my method at times when it's convenient, and they seem to think the craziest thing to do is to be long in here. And my point is, worst case scenario, I can be long in here, add to it in here, and the worst thing that can happen is I'm taking a loss in here. And yes, it may be a decent loss on two micro lots, but this, it's just part of the system. You gotta go with it. But I have missed this trade because I'm thinking this thing is just gonna collapse down to 4100, then to see it back move up to 4438. That's the worst thing you can do, is not to follow the system and follow the method that you're supposed to follow. Same thing with the NQ. The NQ is even better, and again, people start to think now is calling for 14,000 and some crazy predictions that everything's going to collapse. Most probably we'll move up back in here tomorrow, then possibly make another run, or may even go up to here, which is support, then and gone down again. But those ups and downs, you gotta be into those trades without having to be concerned on how far this drop is going to be. M2K and MYM. That's it for this week. I will update again if I see any crazy moves overnight or tomorrow, and try to put my levels in advance on Sunday night. I've been forgetting to do it, so at least you'll see those and be able to follow.